Hey, thanks for joining us for another week of PAWSitive News. If this is your first time with us, we like to look for the most important and interesting news stories regarding dogs and cats, and also find the positive spin. And for those of you joining us again, thank you. Let's get to our first story. It's no surprise that big business is always looking for trends, whether it's an individual's consumption habits or corporations looking at the needs of their employees and how they're changing. And one of the main drivers that are getting attention is the love that people have for their pets. One such idea that's been adopted by a handful of companies is what's called Pawternity leave. No, not paternity leave, but Pawternity leave, in which employees can use vacation days to take care of a sick or an injured pet, or to care for a new puppy in the same way that a parent would take time to care for their child. According to Business Insider, companies that have adopted this new perk have all approached it in various ways, from offering one whole week to 10 hours, about a day and a half, of paid leave when the employee brings home a new furry family member. What employers have seen is that the idea has a lot of support, well, particularly with the younger generations who've decided on a pet while they're waiting to start a family as they begin their career, or maybe they choose not to have a child at all. For companies, they have found the minimal cost is an investment in retaining employees by promoting a healthy work and family balance. Another comfort for employees, if they've exhausted their vacation days, they can choose unpaid time off without fear of losing their job. Now to our next story. A new study is just scratching the surface when it comes to cats and what they prefer to dig their claws into. A recent study published in Journal Applied Animal Behavior Science detailed 3 different experiments involving 36 household cats, all in an effort to better understand what surfaces cats like most when it came to scratching. In each experiment, cats were given the choice of scratching surfaces, and then their preferences were recorded, noting the time spent and their frequency of visits. This data was collected for a week by video cameras placed inside each household. Okay, can somebody please tell me how you get this job? I get to watch cats scratch on posts over a week's period, and I get paid for it? Okay, back to the experiments. They first tested whether the cats preferred a vertical or horizontal scratching surface. Then the cats were given 4 different textures, including cardboard, sofa fabric, carpet, and rope. Lastly, they tested different olfactory stimuli such as catnip, silver vine, or the product Feel-A-Scratch on the surface. Can I have a drum roll, please, for the results? There was a strong preference for vertical scratch pads with either cardboard or rope, accented with a little catnip or silver vine. In conclusion, not necessarily a double-blind placebo type of study, but it has some merit. What is important is that you give your cat choices because each feline is unique. Look, I have 2 in my house, and while one loves horizontal cardboard pads all over the house, the other one only likes our furniture, so he is still a work in progress. But once you find the right combination, at least you will stop scratching your head out of frustration. All right, now back to dogs. Trainers and behaviorists are finally catching up to science, opting to go force-free without the risks of shock collars or punish-based methods that can really be damaging to an animal's welfare. Recently, researchers from the University of Lincoln in England tested that theory and found conclusively that training with positive reinforcement was more effective at addressing target behavior and general obedience. 3 groups totaling 63 dogs were observed over 5 days. All the dogs had obedience issues off-leash and problems with coming when called. The group consisted of 1 training using an electric shock collar, another with the same trainer using their usual training techniques but no shock collar, and the 3rd group trained with only positive reinforcement based techniques. All right, quick disclaimer, this is not video of the study, but of Preventive Vets Canine Certified Behaviorist Kathy Madsen using positive reinforcement methods with Sookie, her Welsh Cardigan Corgi. In the study, all 3 groups were monitored on how quickly each dog would respond to come and sit, how often the commands would need to be repeated, as well as any commands not followed within a 10-second time frame. They found across the board that the reward-based training was the most effective, with the largest number of dogs responding the very first time, fewer times the command had to be repeated, and the quickest to come when called. What they also reported was that dogs trained with an e-collar showed signs of distress, while those trained with positive reinforcement only, according to the donors, showed no signs of distress. This study is important for reasons that the industry right now is unregulated, and it's important to find a trainer educated in science-based results. If you're looking for a trainer who uses humane methods, we have an article we will link you to that will assist you in what certifications to look for, as well as what questions to ask. And finally this week, with very few direct-to-customer options when it comes to healthy, human-grade cat food, some startups are looking to change that. Smalls, which is one such company, launched in 2018. They knew the pet care industry often focused on dogs first, and that there was a real need for creative and healthy options that just weren't available to cats. The two founders believed that the nutritional needs of cats were being overlooked, and because they are traditionally a little bit more picky, as we all know, they needed a larger range of quality of products. Like delivery of fresh dog food, the cost for this cat service is higher than most owners are probably used to paying. The cost per subscription can be around $3 to $4 per cat per day. Currently, Smalls has several thousand subscribers, which has grown by 25% over the past 2 years. Well, that's a wrap on another week of PAWSitive news. Thank you for joining us. If you'd like additional information on any of the stories you've just heard or additional resources, please visit our website, preventivevet.com. The link is right down below. And subscribe to our channel, okay? So thanks again for joining us. Until next week, stay positive.